This is the Week in Review, a recap of the top stories which made news last week. A pleasant weekend to you. I'm Michael Beveridge with the major stories. Government of St. Kitts and Nevis calls for nominations for 2026 National Honours Award. St. Kitts unveils theme and logo for 43rd Independence Anniversary. St. Kitts government calls for nominations for the 2026 National Honours Award. The government confirms no authorization for increase in price of basic bread. The government launches the National Roadmap Initiative to achieve energy independence and strengthen climate resilience. Government welcomes Antioch Baptist Church's leadership in official recycling project. And Nevis makes history with first Caribbean Space Life Sciences experiment launched in space. These are some of the stories which made news last week, and now for the details. Sunday, May 31 was celebrated as Centenarians' Day in St. Kitts and Nevis. The annual commemoration recognized and celebrated the contributions of seniors across the Federation who are 100 years and older. As has been the tradition over the past several years, Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marcella Liebert, accompanied by Minister of State responsible for aging, the Honorable Iselin Phillip, and other ministry officials, visited every centenarian and presented each with a token of appreciation on reaching this milestone. Centenarians in Nevis were honored on Thursday, May 28th, and Deputy Governor General Her Honor Hailita Liebert joined the visiting officials as they paid tribute to Eliza Jeffers, who turned 106, of Hamilton Estate, and Olga Francis Hicks Jeffers, who made 102, of Camps Village. Both Jeffers and Hicks reside at the Flamboyant Nursing Home. The group also visited Evelyn Brown, who made 101, Leontine Clark, who turned 102, Geraldine Berry, 101, and Ernestine Wilkes of Camps, who turned 100. Friday, May 29, 2026 saw the Governor General, Minister of State, and others honoring the three centenarians in St. Kitts. These are Edmund Morton, who turned 101, Esther Harris, who made 104, and Rupert Griffin, 100 years. Minister of State Phillip noted the importance of each visit, expressing that it was an honor to celebrate the longevity and resilience of each centenarian. Governor General Liebert thanked the centenarians for their contribution to nation building and equally thanked their caregivers for keeping them in such good spirits. Centenarians' Day commemorations align with the government's policy to enrich the lives of all seniors so they can enjoy their golden years. On Monday, June 1st, Honorable Spencer Brand, Minister responsible for disaster management in the Nevis Island Administration, made an address to mark the start of the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season. Minister Brand, in his address, reaffirmed that it is our collective responsibility to prepare and act. He stated that Nevis has shown time and again that unity is our strongest shield. We have learned that disciplined planning, early warning, and swift, coordinated response save lives. This season, we reinforce two practical commitments: forecast to action and community-first response. Brand also acknowledged the environmental dimensions of our work. He said climate change intensifies storms, alters rainfall patterns, and affects our coastal zones. He also encouraged citizens to face this season with vigilance, compassion, and resolve. By working together, Nevis will emerge stronger, safer, and more resilient. Still in Nevis, on Tuesday, the Nevis Electricity Company Limited, or NEVLEC, officially welcomed Nelson Ald Stapleton as its new general manager, entrusting the seasoned utility professional with leading the company through its next phase of growth and energy transformation. Mr. Stapleton officially assumed the position on Monday, bringing nearly 2 decades of experience in the electricity sector. Throughout his career, he has held a range of technical and leadership positions at both the St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited, SKN, and NEVLEC, equipping them with extensive knowledge of utility operations and management. The new general manager said he was eager to begin work immediately and would focus on strengthening the company's operations, enhancing accountability, and ensuring a reliable electricity supply while supporting Nevis's transition to renewable energy. A press briefing was held and was followed by a meeting during which the company's management team was formally introduced to the new general manager as he began his tenure leading the island's sole electricity provider. This is the Week in Review, a recap of the top stories. The Independence 43 Organizing Committee has officially announced the theme and logo for the upcoming 43rd anniversary of independence, set to take place in September 2026. Following a month-long theme competition launched on March 30, 2026, the committee received an overwhelming 336 submissions from citizens across the nation and in the diaspora. The winning entry comes from Dr. Jensen S. Morton of Willets Village, St. Paul's. The theme is One People, One Vision, Endless Possibility, Independence 43. Dr. Morton's theme captures the essence of a united federation looking confidently towards the future, grounded in shared identity, driven by collective purpose and unlimited in potential. The 43rd Independence Anniversary will feature a dynamic calendar of cultural, educational, and community-driven events throughout September 2026. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis extends a warm invitation to all citizens, residents, and members of the diaspora to participate in the festivities. Whether through volunteerism, artistic expression, or simply flying the national flag with pride, every act of engagement strengthens the fabric of our nation. This is the Week in Review. We're heading back to Nevis as we tell you about the groundbreaking first Caribbean space science experiment. Nevis has achieved a landmark milestone in science, education, and innovation with the successful launch of the first space life sciences experiment from the Caribbean region, positioning the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis among a growing community of nations contributing to global space research. The experiment was launched on Saturday, May 31, aboard the SSC Suborbital Express SIX-5 M17 mission from Esrange Space Center in Kiruna, Sweden. The groundbreaking project was developed through a partnership involving the Ministry of Education in Nevis, the University of Zurich, and the Center for Space and Aviation, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. The mission marks a historic achievement not only for Nevis, but for the wider Caribbean, demonstrating that small island states can play meaningful roles in cutting-edge scientific research and technological advancement. The successful launch also places St. Kitts and Nevis firmly on the map as an emerging participant in the global space economy. By engaging in international space research, the Federation is creating new opportunities for scientific collaboration, educational development, workforce training, and technological innovation. As the experiment progresses and the data are analyzed, researchers, educators, and students in Nevis will have the opportunity to engage with findings that could contribute to a deeper understanding of human biology in space, while inspiring the next generation of Caribbean scientists, engineers, and innovators. This historic achievement stands as a testament to what can be accomplished through vision, collaboration, and a commitment to expanding opportunities for young people through science and education. On Wednesday, we received the following notice from the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service. It says the government of St. Kitts and Nevis wishes to assure the public that it has not authorized any increase in the price of basic bread, commonly known as dollar bread. All bakeries and other relevant entities are hereby advised to maintain existing prices. No price increase shall take place without prior consultation and approval from the relevant authorities, including the National Cost of Living Task Force. The government will continue to monitor the situation closely to protect consumers from unjustified price hikes. And that notice came from the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service on government confirming no authorization for increase in price of basic bread. Meantime, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is calling for nominations for the 2026 National Awards honor. In the spirit of unity and aspiration that defines the nation's 43rd anniversary of independence, one people, one vision, endless possibility, the Prime Minister's office has officially opened the call for nominations for the 2026 National Honors Awards. These prestigious awards stand as the Federation's highest recognition of extraordinary citizenship. They honor those whose dedication, innovation, and selfless service have not only accelerated St. Kitts and Nevis's development, but have also embodied the very essence of our progress. From pioneers in education and healthcare to champions of community development, culture, and enterprise, the National Honors Awards shines as a light on individuals whose quiet determination has moved the nation forward. Here are the nomination details. 1. Physical nomination forms can be collected at the security desk, Government Headquarters, Church Street, Bastille. 2. Nominations may be submitted digitally. 3. Each nomination must include a completed form and a detailed profile highlighting the nominee's contributions to St. Kitts and Nevis. 4. The submission address is Cabinet Secretariat, Prime Minister's Office, Government Headquarters, Church Street, Bastille. All nominations must be submitted no later than Friday, July 31, 2026. Late submissions will not be considered. The public is encouraged to nominate deserving individuals whose achievements and character resonate with the criteria of the respective award categories. As the Federation prepares to mark 43 years of independence, the government reminds citizens and residents that national honors are not merely ceremonial. They are a reflection of the people's gratitude and a testament to the power of visionary service. This is the Week in Review. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis has taken a major step toward achieving its ambitious goal of 100% renewable electricity generation by 2030 with the launch of a consultative workshop to develop a comprehensive renewable energy transition roadmap for the Federation. On Wednesday, a two-day workshop was held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort and was led by the Energy Unit within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Energy and Utilities. The initiative was funded by the European Union through the Euroclimate Caribbean program and has been implemented in collaboration with the United Nations Development Program and the Greening the Islands Foundation. Notice has been given for the sitting of the National Assembly to be held at the National Assembly Chambers, Government Headquarters, Bastille on Thursday, June 11 at 10 a.m. The order paper and other papers will be issued at a later date. The National Assembly will be broadcast live on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM and participating radio stations. It can be viewed live on TV Channel 5 in St. Kitts and Nevis and Channel 98 in Nevis. It will also be streamed live at www.zizonline.com. Copies of the bills will be made available on the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service website, that's sknis.gov.kn, under the bills section as soon as they are posted. In other news, as part of its ongoing efforts to address rising cost of living challenges and protect citizens and residents from increasing global prices, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is reminding the public and the business community of the customs relief measures currently in effect, including the waiver of bunker and shipper surcharges from customs tax and duty calculations. Introduced under the government's economic relief package announced in April 2026, the measure was specifically designed to help ease cost of living pressures by reducing the impact of escalating international fuel and freight costs on the prices of imported goods. By excluding bunker surcharges associated with sea and air freight from the customs value used to calculate customs duties and taxes, the government has taken deliberate action to prevent consumers from bearing additional costs generated outside the Federation's control. The waiver recognizes that recent increases in shipping and transportation charges are largely the result of external economic factors, including fluctuations in global fuel prices and international supply chain pressures. These developments have contributed to higher costs worldwide and have intensified cost of living concerns in many countries, including St. Kitts and Nevis. By removing these surcharges from the customs valuation process, the government has reduced the tax burden attached to imported goods, providing relief to importers and creating opportunities for savings to be passed on to the consumers. The measure forms part of a broader strategy aimed at reducing cost of living pressures, cushioning households and businesses from international economic shocks, and helping to stabilize prices within the local economy. The customs surcharge waiver is one of several temporary relief measures implemented by the government. Other initiatives include a 50% reduction in the excise tax on gasoline, a reduction in the customs service charge on gasoline from 6% to 3%, and the removal of value-added tax on qualifying alternative energy equipment and devices. Together, these measures demonstrate the government's commitment to tackling the cost of living through practical and targeted interventions that provide meaningful relief to families and businesses while strengthening national economic resilience. The economic relief measures remain in effect through July 31, 2026. And finally, the transition of a more sustainable future in St. Kitts and Nevis expanded on Friday as the Department of Environment and the Taiwan Technical Mission joined hands with the Antioch Baptist Church to launch a new recycling bin as part of the nationwide recycling project. A brief ceremony was held at the new bin location at Limekeel Commercial Development to mark the significant occasion, which coincides with the observance of World Environment Day. Director of the Department of Environment, Darion Edmead, commended the lead pastor, Lincoln D. Connor, and the congregation for proactively reaching out to the department to join the recycling initiative. By doing so, the Antioch Baptist Church made history as the first church to support this national initiative and the proud site of the community's first official recycling bin. Following Mr. Edmead's remarks, Resident Ambassador of the Republic of China, His Excellency Edward Tsao, indicated that Taiwan has worked closely with the government on the project for approximately 5 years. He expressed pleasure with the expansion of the recycling project into a new community and praised all involved, particularly Joyce Chang, who is the lead representative of the technical mission on the project. Ambassador Tao also presented several shopping bags made from recycled materials from the Federation to Ian Richards, who represented the church at the ceremony. In his response, Mr. Richards, on behalf of the lead pastor, board and congregation, explained that the idea to join the recycling project developed some weeks ago. He said that God's timing was perfect as it manifested on June 5, World Environment Day. Mr. Richards echoed lead pastor Connor's words from Sunday, June 3rd, reminding that God gave man dominion over the earth after its creation and said everyone has a responsibility to protect the environment. The Antioch Baptist Church is no stranger to environmental issues, the church leader stated. Of course, our young people designed and implemented a water conservation project a few years ago, and the young men of the Turnaround Agenda participate in coastal protection, and so we are familiar with the importance of protecting the environment. The recycling bin is located outside the church's fence to allow 24/7 public access. Community members are strongly encouraged to compress and bag plastic bottles, aluminum cans, soft metals, and cardboard to deposit in the bin for recycling. Absolutely no organic waste, such as food or other household garbage, is to be thrown into the recycling bin. The Department of Environment will also place recycling bins in the vicinity of Freight's Bakery in Molyneux and the Dr. Denzil L. Douglas Secondary School at Sadler's. A fourth will be positioned in Sandy Point. And that item takes care of this week's edition of The Week in Review. Recapping the leading stories, government calls for nominations for 2026 National Honors Award. Government confirms no authorization for increase in price of basic bread. Government launches National Roadmap Initiative to achieve energy independence and strengthen climate resilience. And government welcomes Antioch Baptist Church's leadership in official recycling project. Once again, on behalf of our news technical team, this is Michael Berridge thanking you very much for joining us this week, and we look forward to coming your way again next week with another edition of The Week in Review. Until then, do take care of yourself and each other.